10th grade, or yeah, 10th grade, I took 6. Last year I took 7, and then this year I took 6 again, but that also included the double AP of Gov and Econ. So I technically took 7 courses.
And
We'll take
all those courses this year were AP courses, right?
Yeah, all of them.
And so we knew, kind of going in that you were going to have a schedule that really challenged you. Obviously, you rose to the occasion. But out of those classes, what do you think, not just senior year, but overall, what classes complimented you the most? Like, what classes out of those did you most enjoy?
For me, I want to go into the softer sciences. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the softer sciences appeal to me a lot. I would say that I did really well in AP Bio, AP Environmental Science, and then which I took junior year, and then AP Psych from this year.
Right.
Um, I felt that for me, going from having to take biology freshman year as
Mm-hmm.
part of just the thing, going into AP Bio after that it just felt like a natural progression, and it felt really nice to have that recent foundation to
Right.
take this. The AP class was harder, but it was a lot easier because we had that foundation, and I honestly recommend it to other kids that have had to take biology to retake AP Bio, even though you're getting that double credit for biology, just because it's really nice to have that AP where you feel comfortable with what you're learning, even though it's more advanced because you learned about it already. And then psychology, I felt like it would just came really natural to me because I am a psychology major, so it was really nice. But I also felt that it was a lot of stuff that we've already learned about, and that just made sense to me because it's real world. So I would say to find the things that interest you, so that it's something that you want to learn and learn more about. What because at the difficulty level, because I have friends who are struggling in psychology and that are excelling in AP Physics, where I'm not as excelling in physics as much as I am in psychology.
Right. But you did well overall. And so I'm just impressed. Very few students rise to that level of achievement and that rigor of class work. And I think that is a secret to your success, especially getting into UCLA right off the bat. The second thing that I encourage students, and it'll be interesting to hear your perspective of what you think is unforgettable about your application versus my perspective. So I
Yeah.
want to hear your perspective.
Well, I've been thinking about it a lot, actually, because I did a lot better with my UC application than I did in my Common App, although I did well in my Common App too. Um, so I've been thinking a lot about the comparison between what I did for my UC application and my other ones.
Mhm.
And I think what really stood out in my UC application was 2 things. One, I had some weird extracurriculars that nobody else would really have, which I think is really important to sparking the reader's interest, because
Right.
there's obviously, I did extracurriculars like NHS, and I know a lot of kids did like CSF, and those obviously look really great, but when you're getting application pools, there's a lot of kids doing that. I owned a business with my brother for 2 years, which a lot of people didn't do.
Mhm.
Most people
Yes.
didn't own a jewelry supply. I feel like that made my applications stick out a little bit more because it draws the readers in. I also think something that my application did is a lot of my extracurriculars tied into my interests and the classes that I took. And it was really easy when I did my essays to sort of tie them all in together and show like I wasn't just picking random extracurriculars and random classes just to like look good. I was picking the things that I wanted to do because they interest me, which I think really stood out in my application.
I really agree. And I would take it one step further. The fact you were a young entrepreneur and in several areas, not just one area, I think that really sets you apart. And the fact that you also competed on a national level in your interest, right? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, the future problem solvers. It's so weird to me because for us, it was something that me and my friends all did together, and it was such just a great, fun experience that to me it doesn't even seem like that big of an achievement. But then I have to take a step back, and Future Problem Solvers is this international organization where you compete with other students from around the globe in demonstrating your problem solving abilities when it comes to specific scenarios. So they'll give you a scenario and you have to try to solve the problems that are given to you and point out the problems that you see in that situation and then try to solve solutions and work as a team. And it shows really good to colleges because it shows like that you can identify problems and that you can solve them, because they want people that not just can see what's wrong with the world but are also taking the time to like try to fix them and have like that imagination and that creativity. But it was really amazing to be part of this program where I got to have fun with my friends and learn collaboration, while also competing at an international level. And then me and my other club members, we ended up creating a project where we helped out our community by creating this project called Strength Over Silence about raising awareness about mental health in the community. And we really developed this project to try to reach out as much as we could, which looked really good on colleges because it was something that was meaningful, which is part of the reason why we picked it. You know, colleges like what is meaningful to you and what is meaningful to your community. And then we ended up bringing that to state competition, winning it at the state competition, and before going to internationals and winning the international competition for our project.
That is so awesome. And it really, I think it demonstrated so many things about you as a leader, as a contributor, and then also the fact that you took it, it was a school issue you shared with your community, and ultimately you're able to have a national impact through the competition. So that to me, as you know, and a college counselor, is probably what I would say is one of your pivotal, unforgettable things that you created that change with that organization. And the third strategy I like to encourage students to think about is make summers count. And for you, that's a little bit different too. Let's be honest, most of your summers are pretty fun, right?
Yes, they definitely are.
But which worked out for you. But at the same time, you also fit in so much tutoring. And I think this speaks to you as an individual and the fact that you love helping others learn so much that you don't want them to miss out on getting ahead over the summer. And can you talk about your love of kind of academic mentoring and how you carried that throughout your summers and the school year? Because I do think that is not only something you did during summers, but also something that added to you being unforgettable.
Yeah. So I decided my very end of sophomore year to become a tutor and help other kids out because I already like tutored my classmates sort of, you know, when people would have a question in class that they would come to me. And so then somebody reached out to my mom through next door about looking for a tutor, and I thought it was a really great opportunity. So I decided to try it out, and I realized that I really liked it. I've been helping people all these years because I liked sharing what I knew and helping others to do it too, because I felt like a lot of other kids didn't like school, not because of school itself, but just because they felt like there was a missing connection by having to be taught by one person to 30 other kids. And it was just like when you don't get those dots immediately connect, like you're almost there, but you really can't get it. It's really hard to enjoy what you're learning and enjoy what you're doing. So I really enjoyed being able to help kids make that connection so that they could enjoy school and enjoy learning and enjoy what they're doing and feel good about it. So I continued that on into my junior year with more long-term things. So I had about 5 major students. One of the biggest ones that for me personally was I had someone that I tutored every single day after school, and I did all of their homework with them. So I was kind of like a babysitter, also a tutor, because we did everything, and I watched him do anything, even from the small assignments where he had to write like how his day was. Like I was there watching him doing it, helping him with the grammar and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was challenging, and when you look at it, it seems like a lot because I was there every single day immediately after school for about 2 to 3 hours, depending on the day, um, which can seem like a lot when you're thinking about everything else. But to me, it felt like something that I wanted to do, and I knew that my time was being spent wisely because I was doing something that I wanted to do. So even though it seemed like it was a big time burden, I was happy because I was helping someone else, and I knew that my time was being used valuably by also making sure that their time was being used valuably. Um, and so I really just liked that experience. And so what happened was one of the other people that I tutored was taking a summer class, and she asked me if I could help her with it. And so the reason why my summers are like busy is because I'm not in the state of California during the summer. I'm gone for about 8 weeks, which
Mhm.
makes it very difficult to do summer activities when you're not in the state for the majority of the summer. But
I tried.
I, I tried as much as I could. It's difficult,
It is.
but
It is. It is.
but it's like we all learn from quarantine, like FaceTime. And
Yeah.
so I would FaceTime her, and we would work through all the problems that she had to do and any questions that she would have. And she got to like retake quizzes and tests. Well, I wasn't there for the test, but for the quizzes, and so we would go over everything that she got wrong on a quiz. And I was just there just to help her go through what she was doing, and it felt like I was there. And yeah, again, it was like some people might say like tutoring, like you're spending time for somebody else that you could be doing for yourself. But I really think it's an extension of myself. Like I call them my kiddos because I feel like they're my children, and I feel so attached to their
Well,
education.
and that's exactly what you portrayed in your essays. The fact that you are a natural learner and you want to share that enthusiasm that you have for learning with those you tutor. And some of it was for profit and some of it was pro bono. But you established kind of this community of learners, and it was such a great thing for you to embrace and to write about. And it's something that I love about you because you like, and you can just see it by talking to you, and it is inspiring. So anyone that gets to work with you is lucky.
Thank you. That means a lot. I really appreciate it. Recommend other kids to try it out.
Well,
Um,
especially like you said, right now with quarantine, it is a great time to help those students who are might not have access to someone in their home to help them. So I'm sure there are a lot of community opportunities to help those around you through
yeah.
Zoom,
Yes, through Zoom, through FaceTime. I
whatever.
still have FaceTiming someone right now and tutoring them through all the work, and it's
That does not surprise me. But so I want to ask every student that I speak with, what one piece of advice, especially for the UCs, would you give to a student in high school now? I'm putting you on the spot. I did.
one piece of advice. Oh,
Mhm.
it's so hard because to me, there's like small things. There's like small steps. So I guess my one piece of advice,
Like what you wish you knew.
what I wish I knew is that at the end of the day, what matters is that your application should be depicting yourself. It should be depicting you, and it's your way of showing the colleges who you are, not just who they want to hear. But the best way to show colleges who you are is by doing the things that you love in a way that you can talk about it. And instead of when you have interests, to go out and actually do them. Like even if it seems small, do what makes you happy, and show dedication, and make your life your story and live through you so that you have something to write about. Put all of you into your life so that you have something to write about and that you're happy with what you can write about. Because that's all they want to see is yourself and you feeling confident in that. And, whatever college that you get into will be the right one for you because if you accurately show them who you are. That's what I've learned, especially through all my friends.
No, and I do. I look at all of my clients this year, and I know your friend group, and everyone landed right where they should be. And it's because I think they had the support they needed to really express who they are in their applications. And I am grateful that I had the opportunity to work with you. UCLA is beyond lucky to be graced with your intelligence, your enthusiasm, and your generosity with both your time and your wisdom. So I hope and I know that you'll have a wonderful time.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me on. It was honestly a blessing. And you were so helpful through all the whole project. I honestly don't know what I would have done without you.
Oh,
Seriously.
it was so fun to just kind of watch you just take the whole process and end up, you know, right where you needed to be. And so, like I said, UCLA is very lucky to get you. And I hope that you are there on campus this fall.
Me too.
Okay, fingers crossed. Thank you so much, Isabel.